Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. All right, I want to share a message that's been coming in the last couple of days. And this is about how many of us are simultaneously recognizing or being pushed into becoming and being more of who we authentically are. And at the exact same time, we're recognizing other people in our lives, strangers or very close people in our lives that are reacting and responding to us beginning to be authentically who we are. I'll give you some examples. Some of you may be no longer making plans the way you used to, or you'll start to make plans and you'll realize that, oh my God, I don't really want to do this anymore. So the day of, right, or the day before, you cancel your plans because intuitively, authentically, you don't feel like doing them anymore. And then what happens, because you're honoring yourself, you're being authentic, you're devouring your resonance or your intuition, the other person that isn't used to this piece of you gets offended. They respond or they react. This is a pattern you're always doing. I don't like when you do this. How could you do this to me? This isn't okay. You can't just make plans and change it, right? They have a response and a reaction. Another thing is that you may start speaking a truth, and you're not one of those people that usually speaks your truth. You're kind of timid or shy, and so you shy away from speaking up, and you may now be authentically becoming you. Right? Welcome to the evolution in human consciousness. So now you're starting to actually speak your truth, and other people are trying to silence you. So they're belittling you, making fun of you, telling you that you don't know what you're talking about. How could you be saying these things, right? Those are just two examples of us starting to become authentically who we are. What is my voice? What does my voice want to say? What is my intuition telling me? I don't feel like going and doing that today, right? What is our resonance, our energy asking of us today, right? How are we wanting to behave? So we're stepping out of these conditioned ways of being, conditioned ways of speaking, conditioned ways of navigating our life, and stepping into new ways, which is really becoming you. Becoming the authentic, raw, vulnerable you. And that is going to rock the boat for many humans that are not used to that with you. Just like you're not used to it, they're not used to it. And what we do as a human collective in general, most of us do this and it's unconscious. We have this codependent relationship with other people in our lives, our friends, our family, our coworkers, even strangers. And what I mean when I say codependent relationship is we feel responsible for somebody else's reaction or response to how we are being. So you say something, you do something. It's a little bit different than what you used to do because you are evolving and you are listening to you now, not anyone else. And they have a reaction and a response to it that for you is different. Like they get angry or they get upset, or they want to let you know how that is wrong, or that this is a problem for you. This is some sort of like a pattern in your life, whatever that is. And then what we do in this kind of weird codependency is we take that on and we're like, oh my God, I need to fix that. I need to make sure that they're okay. I need to make sure that this person isn't angry with me. I need to make sure that this person knows that I'm a good person, that I didn't mean to hurt their feelings, right? That I didn't mean to rock the boat. Wait, I didn't mean to rock the boat. Never mind. I didn't mean that. Never mind. We can go. Never mind. We'll go hang out. Never mind. I won't listen to me. Never mind. I won't speak my truth. That's codependency, because what you're doing is that you are taking their emotion, their reaction, their response, you're grabbing it, you're holding it, and then you're trying to fix it for them, completely ignoring the fact that you are actually just being you. And there's nothing wrong with you being you, nothing wrong. And so the message is you are not responsible for how somebody reacts or responds to you. You are not responsible. You do not need to hold how somebody reacts and responds to anything that you do, that you say, that you feel. This is what we are all beginning to learn how to do and step into over and over and over again. The more that we become our authentic selves, our true, raw, vulnerable selves, which most of us haven't necessarily been our whole lives, the more we are going to recognize that it may not be, our relationships may be a little rocky as the other person starts to settle into this authentic, raw, vulnerable aspect of who I am. And when that rockiness happens, you're not responsible for how they feel about it, for how they respond and react, because that is theirs. The only thing you're responsible for is you. Every reaction and response that you have to somebody or that somebody has to you is the person's, that's theirs. If they're responding and reacting to you, that is theirs. Period. If you're reacting and responding to someone, it's all about you. This very unhealthy, codependent merging of I'm responsible for how somebody feels, that person's responsible for how they made me feel, right? That's victimhood, right? And when you have somebody that says, you made me feel this way, no, I didn't. I expressed myself. I was being me authentically as a sovereign human. You had a response to that. You could have 7 people in a row, and I have a truth that I speak or a behavior that I do, and every single one of them is going to have a different response or reaction based on their trauma, based on the way they were raised, based on their awareness and consciousness of who they are. So there's no such thing as if you say something, if you do something, this is the response you should be receiving or getting from someone. There's no such thing as that. Everyone's going to have their own reaction and their own response to what you say, think, feel, or do based on their own traumas, the way they were raised, the way they grew up, the beliefs they hold around themselves, right? The thoughts they have about themselves. And this isn't easy necessarily to completely embody and hold, but it is the way that we are designed to live as we evolve. The more that each of us, that you and I, can take full responsibility for not only being authentically who we are, just be you, without holding on to how somebody responds, you're going to start to allow the other people in your lives to perhaps begin to start looking at themselves, because you're not going to hold their stuff anymore. And maybe they too will begin to come back to themselves and become authentic with who they are, with their truths. You see, we live in a world, in an external sort of consciousness world, where we are always blaming other people. Always. And the ironic thing around all of that is that it all stems inside. All of it. Everything starts and ends with you. And as soon as more and more humans begin to live this way, the more peace we're going to find in the world, the more unconditional love we're going to find in the world, the more joy we will find in the world, the more we will be able to neutrally allow everyone to be. When you stop blaming other people for how you're feeling, when you stop having a reaction or a response and blaming it on that other person, you will begin to accept the other person. When you start accepting you authentically, unapologetically, being you, speaking you, feeling you, and you're not holding their reaction and their response, because you know that it's not yours, the more you will be able to accept yourself and accept everybody else. We have got to start to learn that we are here to stand in a multitude of opinions and beliefs and truths, unique humans all around us that are not going to see it our way, be our way, feel our way, think our way. And that does not mean that we don't begin and continue to unapologetically, authentically be us, be you. So we are learning, you are learning how to step deeper and deeper into your truth, not lying, not beating around the bush. Who you are and how you express yourself is what you're here to do, and how somebody else responds or reacts has nothing to do with you. Nothing. Because again, you could do something or say something, 10 people are receiving it, and all 10 people are some people may be like, oh my God, no problem, I love that. I love that you're just doing you. Seven of the 10 are gonna be like hurt and disappointed and upset. One person may completely ignore it and just keep pushing and not even allow you to hold the boundary, right? Not everyone is going to respond the same way. Because each person is unique and each person is responsible for their reaction and response. So pay attention as you're going about your day. You're going to be nudged over and over and over again to start really authentically being you. When you're in a crowd with friends and family and you start to do these old patterns, you quiet yourself, you don't necessarily speak your truth, you hold back, you do things you don't want to do. You're going to get that little like, wait, why did I just do that? I don't want to do that. Wait, why didn't I speak my truth? I really want to be honest with people, right? You're going to start noticing these things because you are starting to evolve. And you're starting to need to be authentic. And one of the reasons we hold back is because we feel responsible for how the other person is going to respond and react. And you're not responsible for them. This is a big one for us. So be gentle with yourself, baby steps, but be observant over and over again. Be observant, observe. Watch yourself, watch the other person, watch how they're going to respond, watch what they're going to say. Compassion for you, compassion for them, compassion for all of humanity. We're going through so much right now. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. I see you, I honor you, and we're doing this.